there, Shauna Lynn Simon here from SLS Academy, and I am here to answer your questions today, all about a career in home staging. There has never been a better time to get started in a career in home staging. So here's the deal. I just want to bear with me really quickly. I'm just going to share this video so that other people can join us as well. I want to be able to share this video into a couple of Facebook groups so they can join us. So bear with me for just a moment as I get this done. I'm doing my own technology today. So listen, I've been getting a ton of questions from people about becoming a home stager, and that's why I wanted to do a live video. We have our Black Friday special going on right now. And with that, we've had a ton of people contacting us, asking questions, not only about our program, but also asking questions about what it's like to really be a home stager. And they've got different questions about how to transfer into that career and transition from whatever it is that they're doing right now. So that's why I wanted to hop on here live answering your questions. So if you have a question about getting started as a home stager, please write your question here. Like I said, I am doing this live right now. It is 1 o'clock Eastern time. I'm planning on being on here for the next 20, 30 minutes or so to answer your questions. So if you have a question that maybe I haven't answered yet, anything that you've got going on, let me know. I did kind of stockpile a few questions that we do get frequently that I wanted to make sure that I addressed on here. Again, every situation is going to be unique, so you probably have your own questions as well. So I often get the question from people when I'm actually out on a staging job. And for those of you who don't know me, I am an active and practicing home stager myself as well. So I created SLS Academy because I saw a real need for this type of training program in the industry. It's a super comprehensive program. And what I love about it is that because it's online, we deliver the information in bite-sized pieces that are easy to manage. And we have all these checkpoints along the way to help you to really test the information that you're receiving and make sure that you are understanding it. Sorry. If you can hear a little jingling in the background, it's my kitty cat. So I'm just going to take her collar off so she's not distracting everyone with her jingle bells, which are very Christmassy right now, mind you. But anyway, so what I love about our program is, it's the way that the information is delivered. No matter what your learning style is, it's really well suited for you. But I know that one of the big questions that we often get about it being online is people say, well, I want the in-class. I'd rather have the in-class. I want to be able to have that instructor that I can ask questions to. So here's the thing. First of all, inside your online training portal, you can actually ask any questions you have, and I will answer them. As well, you're part of a Facebook group where you can ask questions to the group. I can answer the questions, but also other students can also help to answer the questions. So this group consists, it's our RESP members only group, and it consists of people who are currently taking the course as well as graduates of the course. So they can help to answer any questions that you might have in regards to a particular module, or maybe even you've got a situation that's come up in your own business that you want to, crowdsource some answers for. We have that opportunity as well. You can also always email us. So what's nice about the online portal, though, is that you can learn at any time. So if you've got a hectic schedule, you can put that learning in whenever you want to. And there's no time limit on when you have to complete it. You can complete it. You can work at your own pace and complete it when it's convenient to you. At the fastest you can do it is 22 days. We release 22 modules over 22 days. And this is done on purpose because in order for you to properly absorb the information, you need to take it in smaller segments. I also apologize if you happen to hear what sounds like a baby crying in the background right now. That is another cat. For anyone who doesn't know, I'm a crazy cat lady. And I'm doing this from my home office today, so please bear with me. Our actual office gets really, really hectic with people coming and going, so I thought it'd be easier to do this from my home office, but I was hoping my kitty cats would be a little bit more cooperative, so I apologize if you hear them or see them on this broadcast. But like I said, I wanted to come on here and answer your questions, so hopefully we can cover all of that. So online training is definitely one of the number one questions that we get. People that prefer to learn in a classroom type of setting. Like I said, you get all the benefits of that. It's actually even easier. I know that a lot of our students, English is their second language. So one of the greatest aspects of the online training is that if you miss something, you can rewind it. And you get lifetime access to the course. So if you ever have, maybe you've completed the course, you've gone out, you've done your first consultation, like, you know what, there were areas of this consultation I feel like I really could have done better. You can go back through that module in the course and review everything. or maybe you kind of forget about some flooring things that we talked about, you can go back through that module. So that's the nice thing too, that you have lifetime access. You always have that information at your fingertips. And the other thing is that because it's online, any updates we do to the course as well, you will automatically get. Again, you have lifetime access to it. You automatically get all those future updates as well. So you're always getting the most current information. Then we email you and tell you, hey, by the way, we updated some things in the course. Okay, so questions we get. Do I need to have a creative eye for design? The answer is yes. And if someone tells you otherwise, I'm sorry, I don't agree with that. I think that you do definitely need to have some natural talent. The idea is that your home stager training will help you to really hone those skills and really know how to put them to great use. If you have staged your own properties for sale, you've probably made, you probably already have a creative eye for things, which is great. What the training does is it helps you to properly utilizing the techniques of home staging to ensure that you're actually marketing the property. So it's not just about decorating it, it's actually about marketing the property. And so the home staging techniques that you will learn and the different practices of home staging will help you to be able to do that. Not to mention, the course will also teach you the practices of working with a homeowner, the whole process of doing staging. I know when I completed my home stager training, I felt that was something that wasn't really covered thoroughly in my training. So the first time I was doing a consultation, my thought was, okay, which room should I start in? How do I start the conversation? How do I introduce myself? Should I ask them some questions initially? When they call me to book an appointment, what questions should I be asking them? And then once I've done the consultation, now what? Do I send them an estimate? How do I send them that estimate? And then what happens after I send that? How do I run the whole staging project from start to finish and book the employees and everybody that I need in the truck and everything else? So this course actually takes you step by step through from the very beginning of every single thing that you need to know about running the consultation and the actual staging process itself. And you will obviously tweak that as you go on to suit your needs, but at least it gives you a really good starting point. Okay, so let's see, what other questions do I have here? Is a home staging business a low-cost startup? This is something that I think is a bit of a misconception in terms of home staging. Home staging, starting a business, is like any business. It is a business. So with that, you got to register your business. Sometimes there's fees that are associated with that. You do have to get insurance. Even if you're not planning on owning your own inventory, you need insurance in order to be able to be secure in entering people's properties. They're going to want to know that you've got a properly insured company. You'll need obviously some general office supplies. There's going to be some mileage and everything attached to it. So even if you're not planning on focusing on renting any items and building your home staging inventory, there is still a great deal of expense that is attached to things. You need to create a website. You need to print some marketing materials. So all in all, to start off, you do want to have at least a few $1,000s because you'll also want to pay for your training as well. And I know you're probably thinking, well, of course I run a training program. I'm a little bit biased when it comes to the training aspect. But let me tell you why. Because I hear people often that the money aspect holds them back. So I don't have the money to invest in certification. So I'm just going to start working in the business and then people will pay me and I'll make some money and then I can use that for the certification. And here's a couple of things that are wrong with that. First of all, as you make that money, what you'll end up doing is investing it back into the business. The chances of you actually spending it on your own education right off the bat is fairly slim. Because you're going to kind of get started working on things and you think, okay, I'm just going to keep working on this. And then the next time I get a job, I'll put that towards my training. And then the next time and the next time, you kind of keep putting it off. And here's the thing when it comes to the training, it's actually less expensive to take the training initially than to be running around in circles. You're going to be less efficient for starters without the training and without that direction. You're also going to spend a lot of time reinventing the wheel. So our training program gives you all the templates that you need to be able to run the business right out of the gate. You'll have to create all of those on your own. I know from experience, I am professionally trained as a stager. I am not professionally trained as an interior designer. That said, and I can't technically call myself an interior designer for the record, so nobody throw any sort of trademark issues or legal battles or anything at me. But I do offer residential design services. I wish that I had gone through training as opposed to just getting out there and working, because I did a couple of things wrong. For starters, I spent more time trying to find the answers to the questions that I had to ensure that I was doing things properly. And I ended up making costly mistakes because of it. So it cost me both my time and my money. Okay. Now, the other aspect of ensuring that you have the proper training from the get-go is you'll also price yourself accordingly. You want to get paid your worth. And in order to be able to charge the fees as an expert and get the industry standard, here's the thing, if you're not charging industry standard pricing, you're not making money. You might think, well, I just want to do this for fun. You will quickly realize that you're not making money, and you're also bringing down the whole value of the industry. This is an industry that is going places. There has never been a better time to get started as a home stager. This industry is growing at a rapid pace right now. And so it's a great time to get into it. So now you might also be thinking, okay, well, listen, I don't want to open my own business. I want to work for someone else, which if you had come to me 5 years ago and said that, I would have said, good luck. There were very few companies at that time that were hiring employees. Nowadays, lots more companies that are hiring employees. So you might actually get hired to work for another staging company. What I can tell you though, is unless you're planning on working as a staging assistant, if you're actually planning on working as a home stager, there are very few staging companies that will hire you without some sort of professional certification training, because they don't want to train you from the get-go. Okay, so that's where the training is really going to come in. Like I said, it's investing in the training up front will, first of all, show that you are serious about this as an industry. I mean, think about your clients from their perspective hiring you. They're hiring you for your expertise on their largest investment. They put a ton of money into their house, and it's hard for them to trust anyone with that. So if they're trusting someone who hasn't got the proper training for starters, and hasn't made that investment in their own business, it's a hard thing to put your largest asset into somebody's hands like that. Okay. So just something to consider anyway. Okay, let's see, what other questions do I normally get here? I often get this: how much money can I make as a home stager? This is one of my favorite questions, actually, because I get a lot of people that say to me, how much money can I make? Not only how much money can I make as a home stager, but they'll say to me, can I actually make money as a home stager? And here's why I think that's hysterical. Because I'm doing this as a full-time job, and I have been for a number of years. I've been a stager for 10 years. I've been full-time at it for, I want to say 5 or 6 years now. I think it was 2013. I think I'm just over 5 years, going on 6 years now, that I went completely out of. So for anyone who's wondering, I was working, I actually had a whole corporate career before this, and I left the corporate world, went back to bartending full-time, and I was still managing one shift a week. About 5.5 years ago, by the time I finally gave up the restaurant, I was giving away that shift most times. So I was barely needing that extra job. I just kind of keep it as my security blanket. So not only have I been full-time paying all of my own bills with this, but I have employees as well who cover their bills, and they do this full-time as well. So if you're wondering if you can make a career out of this and really make enough money to be able to support yourself and your family, absolutely. I have several friends in this industry, in fact, whose husbands have quit their jobs to join them in the business. Okay, or their wives have quit their jobs, for that matter, to join them in the business, and so they're now covering the full salary of both of these, basically. So you can definitely have a very lucrative career in home staging. Now, if you're saying, well, home staging is not very popular in my area, I've heard it all. Like you can give me every excuse for why you don't think that you can be successful as a stager. I'm here to tell you you can be, with the right training, with the right education. I will give you some tips. Hang with me for a little bit. I'm going to give you some tips on how to make sure that you are a successful home stager. But absolutely, if staging is not popular in your area, then there has never been a better time to get started as a home stager. Be one of the first ones. I was one of the first ones in my area to offer home staging services. So now, when I actually had a telemarketer call me the other day trying to tell me they can get me on the first page of Google. I'm like, honey, take a look at Google. I'm already on the first page. Says, oh, that's great. Are there any specific terms that anybody has to enter in? I said, anything somewhat related to home staging or interior design or interior decorating in Kitchener, Waterloo, Ontario, that's where I come up. For anyone who doesn't know, who didn't catch on to the accent, I am Canadian. Just slightly, though. I grew up across from Detroit, so I feel like I'm a little American sometimes. But anyway, so I told her, I said, listen, I'm already on the first page of Google. It doesn't matter how you search for my type of company, I'm guaranteed to come up on the first page. Part of that is because I've been around for 10 years. So with that, I've got some stability. Google's known me for quite a while, right? And I've always been, and that's one of the things that I do teach in the course, is how to make sure that your website does get found, how to optimize your search engine results. It is harder and harder to do now, mainly because there's so many websites out there. 10 years ago when I started my website, there were barely any other websites out there in the world in general. And now, I mean, there's billions of them. So definitely something to keep in mind. But in any case, if you're thinking that staging is not super popular in your area right now, and you're thinking, well, I can't really make a real go at it, we do talk about it a little bit in the course, but here's a couple of tips. So what you want to do is you want to focus on education. So instead of worrying about trying to secure all these jobs, those will come. You need to establish yourself as the expert in your area on not only home staging. It's not just about home staging. You are a home selling marketing expert. Okay, so you are a marketing expert when it comes to homes. And you position yourself that way. And there's ways you can get into the different real estate offices and talk to the different agents and get to know them and get on their radar so they will start hiring you. So if you got any specific questions, feel free to ask them here. What I'm doing is I'm kind of going through some of the questions that we get quite often, and some of the questions that have come up this weekend specifically. We've got our Black Friday special on right now. So if you sign up for our RESP certification training program, so that's for becoming a real estate staging professional. It's your certification through SLS Academy. If you sign up for that before Monday, you can get our Black Friday offer, which includes our Business of Staging course, which is a $599 value. You get our Business of Staging course absolutely free. You're also going to get a Stager Swag t-shirt. There's a couple of different t-shirts that we have, depending on which one, how you sign up for it will determine which one you get. But they're really cute designs. They say that you're a home stager, basically. And they really help to showcase who you are right out of the gate. As well, you'll be entered in for a chance to win a free iPad. That's right, a real Apple iPad. And it's all compliments of SLS Academy. So you want to make sure you sign up before Monday to take advantage of this whole offer, okay? So let's see. This is a great question that we get sometimes about our program specifically. If you take our program, what additional fees can you expect down the road? Now, this is something you want to, if you're reviewing a couple of different stager training programs, this is a really important question to ask them. What sort of additional fees, whether it's a membership fee or renewal fee, should I expect down the road? A lot of times your certification can actually expire, okay? In SLS Academy, it never expires. Not only does your certification never expire, but you have lifetime access to the training material, including future updates. So there are no additional fees. Once you have registered for a real estate staging professional certification training program, once you are registered, there are no additional fees related to the course. You may choose to take some additional training courses down the road that are outside of what's already included. But inside our course, we already include our client care package for no additional charge, our webinar replay all access pass, which means you get every webinar replay for free. So you already get a lot of that included with your course, okay? Let's see, what else have I got here? I think that part we've already covered. Okay, so if you have been interested in home staging design, maybe you read all the home design magazines, you're constantly rearranging your own living room, you love shopping at the home goods stores, you're probably very well suited already for a career in home staging. What I think a lot of people love about home staging is it's a great way to monetize your passion for the home without the same sort of extensive and daunting training that interior design can bring. Now, you do want to weigh out, if you want to become an interior designer, you should take the interior design training. Again, don't do it the way that I did it. I would never recommend that someone goes into interior design without getting formal training. But the same way that I don't recommend getting into staging without formal training. But if you're thinking that interior design is not where you want to go, it really depends on what you're looking for. Home staging can be very gratifying. It's kind of got that instant gratification aspect to it, where interior design can take months, if not years, sometimes to complete a project. And then even still, sometimes it never feels completed. Sometimes, there's just those little lingering things that are just kind of outstanding that just never quite seem to be done and off and completed. So with staging, it's a much quicker turnaround on things. You get to see your results a lot quicker. You're really helping homeowners in a very stressful time of their lives. So I love working with people. That's one thing that definitely drew me to home staging. Was I saw that I had this natural gift that if I could just really turn this into a real, real specified skill and help homeowners, I could be helping them to move on and to get out of one of the most stressful times of their lives, and do so in a way that can really help them, and do so in a way that they like I said, they normally like me after I've left there, for starters. So I think I've got. So Shell, welcome. Shell says, "What is a realistic investment one needs to get a staging business going?" Very good question. So I did kind of mention this earlier. So in case you missed it, by all means, feel free to review through, because I might have mentioned a couple of things earlier that I might be absolutely skipping now. But when it comes to your investment in becoming a home stager, so first of all, of course, there is a training aspect of it, and the training cost itself, the investment that you have in training, can vary from one training program to the next. You want to do your research and see what all is included. But in addition to that, though, there are a number of startup costs that come with the home staging business. So for starters, you do not need to own all of your own home staging inventory to start off. This is one of the misconceptions, I think, that people are afraid they've got to spend tens of thousands of dollars to get their own inventory. That is not necessary. However, I definitely wouldn't call home staging a low-cost investment to start it as a business, because at the end of the day, it's a business. Just like everything else, it's a business. And I want to make sure that if you're entering into the home staging industry, I want to make sure that you're entering in with your eyes wide open. So I don't want to give you some sort of false promise and say, hey, no, you don't really need to spend any money on anything, because the truth of the matter is you do. So for starters, you're going to need obviously some office supplies. It's kind of a standard, with any business. You're going to need insurance to get your business here. So technically, it is not illegal to operate your business without insurance, but I honestly can't understand why anyone would. You need to cover yourself from a liability standpoint. If you're entering into someone's home, they're going to want to know that you are fully insured. You never know what's going to happen. You could end up accidentally tripping while you're at the consultation. You could end up in a situation that you're feeling a little bit compromised. You could end up, maybe their dog bites you or whatever. There's a lot of different things that come with things, and you want to show that you're working a fully registered business. In addition to that, you'll want to obviously get a website up and running. Fairly low cost to do websites. You can do full WordPress website, custom design. There's also a lot of great website builders out there now. There's Wix, Weebly, Squarespace, that are fairly inexpensive, usually a few $100s a year. A WordPress site is a little bit less than that, but then you got to pay for your hosting. So you got to buy your domain. You've got to get a proper email address. Usually that can come with your website fairly easily as well. But there's some expenses, of course, attached to that. And then I don't care what anybody says about going to a paperless society. At the end of the day, we still need paper. We still need business cards. You're going to want some sort of promotional flyer or brochure or postcard to be able to advertise yourself. And then you also want to make sure you're branding your company a little bit too. And I get into this a little bit further in the Business of Staging course, what all branding is. And branding doesn't have to be a significant investment, but you will want to make sure you are putting some money aside to be able to pay for some aspect of marketing. You'll also want to look at joining some of your local associations too. There's local and national associations. Specifically, I'm a member of the Real Estate Staging Association, and I love everything that the Real Estate Staging Association is doing for the industry. Essentially, they're a trade organization. So similar to the National Association of Realtors, that's how we've got RESA. And what I love about RESA is it helps to really add credibility to your name as well. So if you're just starting out, it will connect you with other home stagers that you can bounce ideas off of, you can potentially collaborate with in your local area, which is a huge significant help. But in addition to that, there's also the opportunity to just add that credibility to your name. You get to use their logo on your business cards, on your website. So there is an investment in the membership fees for that. And of course, like I said, any business, it requires an investment. So above and beyond the training, your insurance, your overall supplies, your overhead, your cell phone usage is probably going to go up. You need to have a reliable internet. All of those are part of things, obviously, not to mention a reliable vehicle, the mileage attached to that. So essentially, you want to make sure that you have at least a few $1,000s at minimum for starting off. We actually do go through in our course some of the, in a bit more detail, all the different costs associated in the business of staging course, which right now, if you sign up for our Black Friday offer, we're giving away our business of staging course for free. So it covers all the different things that you may not have thought of when it comes to fees. So things like, are you going to hire a bookkeeper? I have a bookkeeper. It makes my life a lot easier. It's a small investment that frees up my time to work in my business. Are you going to hire someone to do your social media for you? You'll want to have contracts, and we do actually give you the contracts, some sample contracts in the course. However, you have to keep in mind that every state, city, country for that matter, has different regulations. So you will want to ensure that you have that contract reviewed by a lawyer. So initially, there's a number of things that you're going to want to invest in. Here's the thing. Gone are the days where home stagers are considered pillow fluffers, essentially. Home stagers are running serious businesses. And if you're not willing to run a serious business as well, you will get left behind. Okay, so you do want to make sure that you have a nice amount of money that you can invest initially in getting your business going. And then you'll want to ensure that you are continually reinvesting back into your business as well. Any other questions? That's a really good question, though. Thank you, Shell. Any other questions you guys have? Let me know. Like I said, I've got a few more questions here that we've been receiving this week. So, and if you, here, what I'm actually going to do is, in case you're interested, check out our offer, our Black Friday offer, stylelistedsold.com/Black Friday. I can speak today. So I've just posted a link there on this video. So feel free to check that out and see all that our offer holds for you. Let's see. I think that money is probably one of the biggest things that does tend to hold home stagers back. Did you know that a lot of banks will offer you a small business loan to start your own business? A lot of times local municipalities will as well. So you can talk to your local government and see if there's any sort of grants available. Sometimes there's federal or state grants available as well for starting your own business, because you're essentially adding to the overall economy of your city. So there's different opportunities out there. Short of that, in order to get that money, you can like I said, you could, like for the training itself, for the certification training, we do accept credit card. Put it on your credit card. I'm not asking you to go into significant debt to get started. What I'm saying is that this is an investment and you will make this money back, I assure you. But having a little bit of business debt to start off with is not a horrible thing. You can also talk to family and friends and see if you can borrow some money temporarily if you're not comfortable taking out a line of credit or putting things on your credit card. But like I said, a business loan is definitely not uncommon to help you to get started. So I think, and the other part of it is too, now this is not applicable for a Black Friday offer, but we do offer a payment plan where you can pay in 3 installments. Unfortunately, you cannot get promotions like this by paying in installments, but if it's something that you're interested in, you can get started right away, you get full access to the course, and then you pay for it in 3 installments. So just something to consider anyway. I did say I was going to give you some tips for becoming a successful home stager. So let me talk about a few things for that. Number one, never stop learning. It doesn't matter what training program you take initially. I shouldn't say it doesn't matter. I mean, obviously, I think mine is the best. But I mean, there's some quality programs out there. What I'm saying is that regardless of which program you initially take for your certification training, whether they offer additional continuing education, or in case maybe there's other people that, other training providers that have some continuing education courses that you're interested in. Maybe it's some local business courses that you want to take. Maybe your local business center is offering a course on social media. Whatever the case may be, never stop learning. Attend conferences, attend every event that you can get your hands on where you can get an opportunity to learn. Again, it doesn't have to be industry related, but it can be. I go to the RISA convention every summer. It was just recently moved to the summer, but every year I go. It's now in July, end of July in Las Vegas. You get a trip to Las Vegas out of it. But that's an investment that I put into bettering my business and learning. So I highly recommend doing that in order to be successful. So take your business courses, take continuing education courses. We also, through SLS Academy, we offer a number of webinars. You'll see a lot of different webinars online, sometimes offered by different training providers and different business professionals. Sign up for everyone you can possibly get your hands on. These can provide some really good, useful tidbits of information, and then take additional courses where you feel that you need a little additional help as well. Another tip to being successful get paid your worth. Make sure you're charging industry standard pricing for your business, not only because it does actually pull down and devalue the whole industry as a whole, but also because it is not an inexpensive thing to run and operate a home staging business, especially as you grow. I have employees on my team, and one of the things that I say whenever someone says to me that my pricing is high, I say, well, my pricing is fair because I pay my employees a fair wage, and I always want to ensure that I can make sure that my employees have food to feed their families and a roof over their heads, and I never want them scrimping and saving because they can't afford to do something because I haven't charged enough money for their work that I can't pay them enough money, right? So especially as your business continues to grow, your overhead will increase. Especially if you decide to invest in inventory. Invest in inventory can make you a ton of extra money versus renting, but you can be very successful with renting as well without the hassle and the headache and the overhead that comes with owning all of your own stuff. That said, you're putting money into somebody else's pocket still when you're doing this. So it's great when you're first starting out. I do recommend eventually switching if that's the model you want to go into. If you want to go into staging large houses, full vacant houses, that's a better way to do it. That said, that's not the only way to do it, okay? Okay, so let's see. Oh, if you're currently working full-time and you're interested in pursuing home staging, you're not quite sure how to transition over. That's something that I actually get a lot. So if you're working a corporate job, it can be a little bit more challenging, but see what you can work out with your corporate job and see if there's any way that you can actually scale back your hours. Maybe you get every Friday off or something. It's difficult if you're working a standard 9-to-5 job to manage the business as well, but it's not impossible. So you can, work your evenings, work your weekends, and then look at trying to get, go down to a 4-day work week. Talk to your employer. I do recommend being as honest as possible with your employer and let them know the direction that you want to go in. Most employers will support you in that direction, assuming that it's not competitive to what you're doing. But if you find that your current work hours are simply not going to be conducive to allow you to start the business and build the business that you want, but you do still want a steady paycheck, look at changing to a temporary part-time position that will allow you to focus your energy on your job. For myself, it was bartending. Bartending was super easy for me because I had done it all through university and through the beginnings of my previous career. So what I actually did was I worked every Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday daytime, and Monday evening. So if you think about it, essentially I pretty much worked the weekends. I could take clients on Mondays during the day and any other day during the week, day or evening. It also allowed me to take clients on a Saturday morning if I wanted to. I mean, did it mean that I was burning the candle at both ends? Sometimes it did. I will admit that. You do want to be careful with that, but you can pace it out a little bit so that you're not overwhelming yourself. It's, and as you build the business, scale back on the other jobs so that one's paying for the other, essentially. Part of the reason why I kind of burned the candle at both ends was because I wanted to own all of my own inventory and I wanted to buy a ton of it right out of the gate, which I did so I could furnish full houses, and I started making my money back very quickly on it. So it was done strategically, but you do want to be careful, make sure that you're being mindful as well, and allowing yourself. So if you have families, especially, I know this is a big thing. If you have families, you can work your hours around your family to an extent as well. You just want to make sure whatever part-time job you take allows you to do that. And then treat your business like a business. So even if you don't have clients, you want to make sure that if you're not working with clients, you want to spend some time on a regular basis, on a weekly basis, daily basis, working on the business, building those connections, attending events. Where your real estate agents hanging out, go find them, go hang out with them wherever they are. If they're at a golf tournament, hang out with them. If they have a pub that they always go to, hang out with them. If there's a function going on, some sort of gala or event or whatever, go hang out with them. There's definitely ways that you can be growing your business even when you don't actually have a lot of business to start off with. Let's see. Oh, I get this sometimes. I'm not very organized. So I'm not going to be really good at running my own business. I won't lie to you. It does take a certain organization factor in order to run a staging business and be able to grow it properly. But you don't have to be as OCD as well. I am. Anyone who knows me knows I'm kind of the organization queen. And I know that's sometimes very counterintuitive, I suppose, to what you think a creative person would be. So most creative people, our brains are kind of going all over the place, and mine does that too. I've just found ways to hone in on that and really to be able to put everything onto paper. So I have lots of checklists and lots of to-do lists to get things out of my head and onto piece of paper, and that helps to organize me. So one thing that I've done in the course that I created is I've given you a lot of those checklists. In fact, pretty much every single one of those checklists I've given to you, and I give you tips on how to run your business on a day-to-day basis to get you organized from out of the gate. And this is one of the biggest misconceptions too, is when you're first starting out, you don't think to track certain things, and you don't really think, well, I don't really need an invoicing program. I don't need a CRM program. I give you tools for having those programs and having things in place as soon as you start, so you're not having to backtrack once you do get busy. That's definitely the key part of the key for it, for sure. Let's see. Oh, business plan. If I'm starting a business, do I really need a business plan? So one of the things that we're giving away with the Black Friday special right now is our Business of Staging course. You get it free when you sign up for our RESP certification training. So you get everything you need to become a certified home stager, as well as the Business of Staging course, which gets you started in launching your business. And it literally walks you through step by step through your business plan. This is incredibly important to any business. And it's something that I did not do as well when I first started my business. And I spent about 2 years kind of running around in circles. Let me tell you a little bit about why my business almost failed. And this is often surprising to people. Sure, why would you want to learn from someone whose business almost failed in the first 2 years? Because I've learned from my mistakes. And obviously I'm running a successful business now. Like I said, I am still an active and practicing home stager. I have 2 other stagers on my team. We're working on hiring a 3rd right now. I also have an interior designer that works with me, as well as an office assistant, in addition, of course, to our staging assistants and our movers and such. So I'm running a full-fledged staging firm, staging and design business. That said, it almost didn't happen. I almost didn't have this business. I almost lost it all. And there's a couple of critical mistakes that I made my first 2 years of business. So one was that I thought that when I opened the doors to the business, people would just flock to me. They would just be like tripping over themselves and tripping over each other to come and hire me. And that wasn't the case. I didn't realize that there was a little bit of a sales aspect to it. So it is something that I actually do cover in the course, is how to sell yourself, because selling yourself is very different than selling another product. Because I can tell you all about this new vacuum that I just bought, and I could tell you every feature about it and why it's super amazing and why you have to buy one too, and you'll probably go running out and buy it. But when I tell you that you need to hire me, what a lot of people do is you tend to kind of downplay just how awesome you really are and how great your service is, because it's kind of harder to talk about the benefits of, well, you. So that was one of the mistakes that I made. I'm actually a vegetarian and worked in steakhouses and other restaurants that sold like major meat type feature products. And I sold the bejesus out of them. Like I won every contest for selling the most dinner features constantly. And part of it was because I would take the time to understand what it was that I was selling, and I would describe it to people in a way that they just couldn't resist buying it. But when it came to my own business, I was like, oh, I'm a natural salesperson. Obviously I can do this. I didn't. Here's part of the reason why I wasn't able to sell myself as well. It wasn't just that part of me had some self-confidence issues, that maybe I'm not as awesome as I think I am at this job. But the other part of it was also that I had failed to properly define what it was that I was doing there. And that's where your business plan comes in. I didn't know who my target clients were going to be. And if I didn't know who my clients were going to be, how the heck was I supposed to find them? I didn't have any clear marketing message to them. I didn't know, when I would talk to people like, oh, I'm a home stager. I help you sell your house for more money and faster. That's cliche. Nobody wants to hear that. Instead, now when I talk to some, when these students, listen, I'm a home stager. What I do is I am a marketing expert, and I work with homeowners at one of the most stressful times in their lives while they're selling their home. And I help them to create a marketable product that's ready for sale to make the whole process of selling a lot easier on them. I give them a detailed checklist on everything that they can do to help to improve their chances of selling not only faster, but for the maximum amount of money that they possibly can. And they love me for it. So which person would you rather hire, right? When you're coming from a place of passion, and when you're coming from a place of real expertise, that you really understand exactly what your worth is and who you are and what you're offering, it's so much easier to sell. So these are all things that I teach throughout the course, as well as in our private membership groups as well. And I'm constantly adding to the course as well. So Okay, let's see. What else can I do? I've had a few people that have contacted me this week and said, listen, I really want to take your course, but I don't have time right now to take your course. So here's the beauty of it. There is no time limit on when you can complete the course, but there's also never been a better time to get started than now. So here's the thing. If you think you might have a few minutes to spare here and there, we give you the information in very bite-sized pieces. So you don't need a lot of time to get through it. So why are you putting off to tomorrow what you can be doing today? Don't regret tomorrow that you didn't get started today, right? So in this special that we're offering for Black Friday, we don't offer this every day. This is a once a year thing. Every year I'm always amazed by, everything that we jam into this. They say you can win a free iPad. Come on, who doesn't want to win a free iPad? Really? So please, 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 do not delay. Do not miss out on this offer. I'm telling you, if you come to me next Tuesday and ask me for the same offer, I'm not going to offer it to you. This is only for Black Friday. It's a limited time, and we do this once a year to help people like you to get into the program now when you really want to get into it. And I said, even if you don't have the time to get started today, doesn't matter. You have lifetime access to this. There's no limit on when you can complete it, but at least you can get started. Okay. Let's see. I think that pretty much covers most of the questions that I received. So if anyone has any other questions about anything that tell me what's holding you back from becoming a home stager, or tell me, if you are working as a home stager, any other advice that you can offer to anyone about getting started, and what it took for you, or any tips of advice. Definitely would appreciate that. But if anyone else has any other questions, please just type them in the box below. Comment on this, and I'm happy to answer your questions. I can stick around for a few more minutes. But hopefully this helped to answer a lot of questions that you guys had. Like I said, you don't want to miss out on the Black Friday special that we have. It's only until end of day on Monday. And I'm really hoping that you'll come and join us. I'm really excited to have some new members to our RESP community. We've already had some people sign up that they got the early bird that we did over the weekend. And thank you so much. Welcome to our new members. I can't wait to get you guys started. So if you're already, like I said, if you're already working as a home stager and you want to add some tips or advice, by all means, feel free to add your 2 cents on this video as well, and tell people what it is that you love about being a home stager, and any tips and advice you can give them for getting started as well. Do your research though. I mean, here's the deal. SLS Academy's training program may not be the right training program for you. Our program has been designed to accommodate pretty much every teaching style out there. But it is also designed for people who are motivated and really want to start their own home staging business. You can definitely take the course even if you plan on working for someone else. It gives you the full comprehensive ins and outs of everything. So if you know that there's pockets of things that you don't know, or you don't know what you don't know, our course will cover it. Okay. All right. Well, I think that's about it then. Like I said, if you have any other questions, feel free to throw them on here. I'm happy to answer them as well. I'm going to be in the office for the next couple of hours throughout the day, so I'll definitely make sure that I'm checking back on here and answering any questions that you have. You're also always welcome to email us at info@styledlistedsold, in case anyone's wondering what SLS stands for. So info@styledlistedsold.com. Get in touch with us. Check us out on our website, styledlistedsold.com/Black Friday. We'll get you our current Black Friday offer. Like I said, it's pretty incredible. You get a chance to win an iPad, you get a Stager Swag shirt, free Business of Staging course, crap load of stuff, basically over $700 worth of stuff, free stuff for you. So do check it out. And if you have any questions, please let me know. So thank you so much to everyone who joined me today. And I hope that you all enjoy the rest of your beautiful afternoon or morning, depending on which side of the country you're on. Thank you, everyone. Take care.